He's a legend of corporate sustainability, a man whose personal story, a story of an epiphany that changed a life in an entire industry. He is a personal hero of mine, a man I think of all of us in this room are striving more and more to be like, and a man who is truly changing the world. The winner of the Leadership Award is Ray Anderson, founder and chairman of Interface, Inc.
If you spend 2 seconds in his presence, you know that he's the real deal. This is a man who does not have a hidden agenda. So whether Ray is, across an auditorium from you, or whether he's standing right next to you, what you see is what you get.
Here is a football player, engineer, founder of a billion-dollar-a-year company who got it at a core level and can get up there and articulate his passion in a way that few other people can.
Ray is an incredibly unique person. First, he is a ferocious businessman. The other part about Ray, though, is he is an incredibly humble person, and he's a listener. He's a learner.
Spent a lot of time with Ray, and he is one of the most amazing human beings that I have come to know and obviously come to love. And it's how he can be so many amazing people at the same time.
He's an industrial engineer, which means he's mathematical. But if you listen to his words, he's almost a poet.
People who see him in the context of a speaker on green think he's sort of this benevolent old man that is trying to do the right thing, and he is. However, he is a fierce competitor and wants to be successful.
First of all, he's very intelligent, very intelligent. He's very humble when it comes to this company and what he's done, and people just want to follow Ray. I mean, he's a born leader.
My job has been to sort of set a vision for the company, but believe me, it's the followers that make the leader.
I've never seen a man more focused, more committed, more passionate. There's not many people like him out there.
It didn't take 5 minutes in his presence to know that he was something special.
Ray combines vision and warmth and humility and passion in a way that has an impact on everybody around him. Besides that, he is a remarkably supportive person. If you're with him, you don't feel like, I gotta compete with Ray and show that I'm even smarter and more visionary. You feel like, wow, this is a celebration of what we all want to achieve. That's a very special capacity. So, I just treasure the times when I'm with him.
Ray Anderson is one of the most impressive people that I know. I mean, he has this commitment to doing something. I mean, not only with his own corporation, but using it as kind of a demonstration of what can be done.
Visionary gets thrown around a lot, and I think maybe there are some people that can see 2 or 3 years ahead. There's some people that can see 5 or 10 years ahead. Ray's had this knack of being able to see a generation or so ahead. He did it with carpet tile.
Just starting a company to make carpet in squares where everyone made it in rolls. That may be a bigger challenge than sustainability, I think, because people, it just didn't make sense.
It wasn't like he bought something and just set it up with the installation instructions. I mean, they just had a kit of parts, and he had to create something from scratch. It just doesn't happen that often. Ray is the kind of guy that sees connections between things and finds opportunity, and he's extremely driven.
God, it was frightening to take that big step into the dark, not knowing where your foot would come down.
It takes a pioneer to open up the way. It's easier to follow a trail than blaze a trail, and that's what Ray has done. I mean, he's been sort of the beta tester for sustainability in industrial applications, and he's come back to the world to say, it's okay, it works really well. My company wouldn't have survived without it.
He made it difficult for people to say, well, I can't do it in my business. he's not in an industry that you would think could lead relative to environmental progress. So if you can do it with carpet, you can do it with just about anything.
Ray has made it safe for CEOs all around the world to look very closely at what he's done and use that business model in their own world.
I cannot tell you how many people come up and talk about this great man. He's this iconic figure.
I've seen Ray give speeches where 100 people have been in a room that have never heard of Interface. And after he's done speaking, people come up to me and say, "You work for the greatest company in the world."
I mean, the impact and influence he's had is tremendous. And he has that great accent, and he could, charm an owl right out of a tree.
He's done more than anybody else in this space in a shorter period of time. And the world's so big and so real-time and instantaneous now that it'll take a lot longer for people to look back and see what a historic moment Ray Anderson was, but it'll happen.
I think the Ray Andersons of this world will be seen as we see some of the great inventors of the past. I mean, people like Edison and so on. People that come up with a new way of looking at things, new ideas, they're going to be seen as the pioneers.
I think Ray will be remembered as kind of the Galileo of green business, the heretic who showed a different way of looking at business and the environment and turned out to be right.
There was a moment when one CEO stood up and said, "This isn't right, and we're going to change it."
I have this mental image of a mountain to climb, a mountain that's taller than Everest. The name of the mountain is sustainability.
Well, the problem with Ray is that it's kind of like Jesus Christ and Nelson Mandela. They're so, for the average company or CEO, he's setting the bar so high.
Ray was one of the first business people to step out and commit his legacy personally to making his company the first company of the next industrial revolution.
It's only right that if you create the legacy, you should share it. I truly hope you feel that you do share it. And do you know what? There is something more important than one person or 4,000 persons' legacy. This commitment that we've made won't stop when Interface achieves its 2020 goal. There must be another goal. So I say to you, dream big, work hard, do good, not just no harm, and have fun along the way. I will be with you every step of the way, in body and then in spirit. God bless you.
It's hard for me to think of what this would be like without Ray driving it. But the path is laid out, the success route is well defined, and now we just need to keep doing it.
It's our legacy to accomplish Ray's vision. It's not just Ray's vision, it is 4,500 people's vision called Interface that wants to change the world.
Ray's in our blood. I mean, he's in our DNA.
What I believe he's forcing us to do is take this on ourselves so that we won't miss a beat.
I think Ray Anderson's legacy is safe and secure and powerful, and I think the greatest thing is for us to continue to make progress on this. I mean, one of the things that we can continue to do to ensure his legacy is to perform.
When I was a child, we learned a song in Sunday school. Brighten the corner where you are. Brighten the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor you may lead across the bar. Brighten the corner where you are. Brighten the corner where you are, and what if everybody did it?
We don't know Ray Anderson's legacy. We don't know whether he'll be enshrined or forgotten. But either way, he was the cause. He was the source. He changed things that will have cascading effects for future generations.
Tomorrow's Child speaks to me every day of my life with one simple but profound message, which I presume to share with my audience, that we are each and every one of us part of the web of life. The continuum of humanity, yeah, sure, but in an even larger sense, the web of life itself. And we have a choice to make during our brief, so brief visit to this living blue-green planet, to help it or to hurt it. It's your choice. Without a name and unseen face, and knowing not your time or place, tomorrow's child, though yet unborn, I met you first last Tuesday morn. A wise friend introduced us to, and through his sobering point of view, I saw a day that you would see, a day for you, but not for me. Knowing you has changed my thinking, for I never had an inkling that perhaps the things I do might someday somehow threaten you, tomorrow's child, my daughter, son. I'm afraid I've just begun to think of you and of your good, though always having known I should. Begin I will, to weigh the cost of what I squander, what is lost, if ever I forget that you will someday come and live here too.